Rosh Chodesh Kislev is just a day or so away, and that is a marker for us to note that Hanukkah is just around the corner. And if you are searching for what to give to our loved ones for Hanukkah this year, let me suggest a fabulous idea could be to give the gift of travel, to give the gift of Israel engagement. There's so many ways you can do that this year. One way is if you have a high schooler in your life, grades 9 through 12, that Holy Blossom is sending a congregational trip for high school students to Israel this March, during March break. So we're going to be traveling to Israel on March 10th through 20th. That means we're going to be celebrating Purim in Israel together, a really fun thing to do in Jerusalem. And we'll hope that you'll tell your kids about it, to see if they're interested, and if you're in a place to do so, to help them on their way with the gift of travel. Another way that you could give the gift of travel and give the gift of Israel is for signing up for this summer's congregational trip to Jaffa. We're calling this the Journey Through Jaffa. It's a 5 or 6 day trip entirely in Jaffa, looking at the Israeli society through the lens of this one ancient city. This is not the type of trip where we'll be getting on and off of buses, but rather really dialing in and looking at multicultural Israel, looking at poverty in Israel, looking at interfaith relationships, looking at so many elements of what makes Israel so beautiful can all be found in the beautiful ancient city of Jaffa. So we hope that you will take us up on that offer. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or to Pam Albert, the co-chair of the Israel Engagement Committee, who has been so helpful in getting this trip off the ground. And if traveling physically to Israel is just not in the cards this year, or doesn't feel right quite yet, we'll also encourage you to sign up for what a program we are calling the Stories of Israel. So this starts just next week. On Tuesday evenings, we will have an opportunity to watch, really, I've seen some of them, really high production value documentaries highlighting 3 different Israelis from diverse backgrounds. There's a Reform rabbi, an Orthodox Jewish mother, as well as an Ethiopian Jewish woman. And the idea is that we will watch the documentaries together. We will engage in some of the topics that are brought up in the documentary. And then that individual will get to meet them. They'll be waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning in Israel time, just so that they can be in conversation with the Holy Blossom community. So perhaps if you've joined us on one of our virtual trips, this will be a flavor of that. Very similar. On 3 consecutive Tuesdays, we'll have an opportunity to really engage, to watch and meet the people of Israel. So if you're interested in traveling to Israel, if you are a teen, we've got our teen trip coming in March. If everyone else is welcome to join this summer in June on the ground in Jaffa. And of course, we also have a virtual way of going to Israel. While we can't necessarily visit the places of Israel, the stories of Israel gives us an opportunity to meet Israelis and engage with society. So all wonderful opportunities, and wish you a Chodesh Tov and a happy Hanukkah.